Hello, my beautiful Aquarians. Hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome back, welcome to my channel. I'm Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today, we are doing a reading that will be posted on Friday, July 17th for the upcoming week. But don't worry about the dates. If the title caught your eye, I'm sure there's a message in here for you. In fact, I often like to go back and listen to a reading from the previous week to see how it resonated, or what came true, or what was true from it. And it's very uncanny, the readers that I watch, and how I listen back to it and say, wow, oh my gosh, that was exactly on point. Anyhow, we are going to be using the Oracle of the Universe to open your reading. This is by Stacy DeMarco. And we are going to be using the beautiful Woodland Mini Oracle deck to close out the reading. We will be using the Gilded Tarot, my old standby favorite, for the tarot portion of this message. Okay, so I've already pulled the Oracle cards, but I haven't read them. So let's see what you have. 23. This is the constellation Cassiopeia, and it is pride. So we see this stunning woman sitting in a chair with a beautiful cream-colored gown, a mirror or looking glass in her hand, gold armbands, beautiful jewelry. She kind of has a look of disdain on her face, maybe, or judgment. She's also got some gold sparkles on her ankles. A really beautiful woman, stunning, in fact, sitting in the chair there. Pride. Okay, let's see what this has. Now, I can't hold up the card and read this book because I have to have a magnifying glass to see. This is the message here. Each one of these has about 3 pages worth, but the bulk and point of the message is in the beginning. So I have to use this glass to read it. The book is beautiful, but the script is so tiny, even with my glasses on, I can't read it. Okay. So let's see, and I'm sorry, I have to look at the top of my head while I do this. Cassiopeia, pride. Celebrate your achievements, but not by boasting. Humility is needed. An arrogant or boastful person around you may soon see consequences from their hubris. Shame is a complex emotion and is there for a reason, just like anger. But we should never hold on to shame for long. A healthy amount of pride is good. You should love who you are and what you can achieve, but do not compare yourself to others. So this is kind of saying, yeah, all of us want to be proud of what we do in our lives, right? We want to be proud, but not boastful. So after I read the message and then I look at the card, it's like, okay, yeah, she's sitting there in perfect comfort and pride of what she's done, pride in her beauty, pride of what she's achieved and accomplished, right? Which is fine. Now, the other part of the message said there could be somebody around you who is boastful, that may be, I don't know what, called out for that. So Aquarians, you'll have to apply this to whether it's you or somebody around you. Now, this card is a 23, which is a 5. Fives are change. So, you can have pride, but don't boast, don't brag, because people are really turned off by that. Nobody wants to hear somebody, blowing their own horn, so to speak, all the time. It's fine to talk about your achievements with your good friends and your family and people, but you need to know when to stop talking, right? So yeah, it's great to say, wow, look, I finished this, I completed this, or I did this, or whatever, but then just don't go on and on about it. Somebody needed to hear that. I don't know who. All right, I'm going to face the camera down. Well, first I want to say it is so hot and humid right now. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning as I'm doing this. and I already had to open all the windows and turn on the ACs as fans, blowing the cool air in because it's just, ugh. So before I leave, I'm going to have to close up everything. But I just wanted to mention that because you may be able to hear a noise in the background. I apologize, but it's just impossible for me to be able to do that. I would just be covered in sweat if I didn't have that on, which wouldn't be a pleasant thing to see. All right, let me pause this. Okay, so here we go with the tarot. Now, I would love to hear, what is the weather like where you are? Because I know in the mid-south, my daughter lives in Tennessee, and she told me that there had been a lot of rain recently. We've had a lot of heat and humidity. It did rain a little bit overnight, but anyway, love to hear that, and love to know where you're watching from. I am fast approaching 900 subscribers. That is, I set a goal for the next 100. I don't, make it a goal that's unreachable and that would take too long. So I'm close. I'm very close to 900 subscribers, and I couldn't be happier after doing this for 3 years. Some people, I don't know, there's a reader that I watch. I think it's, what is it called? Spot On Psychic Readings or something like that. And she has a lot of dogs, beautiful dogs. And she made a chant. One of her dogs always gets up like in her lap and like will put his paws on the cards. And so she made a channel for him. And in less than 6 months, he had 5,000 subscribers. And I'm like, what? A dog has more subscribers than I do? I was like, this is just weird to me. I'm sure it's a lot of the subscribers that she has. I can't remember how many subscribers she has. She herself has, but anyway, I just am like, I could let that get me down, but I'm like, well, I don't know. I've never watched the dog pulling cards on there because I guess that's just not something that interests me. Okay. So this reading, as I'm looking at the cards, it seems like there may be a possibility of you holding yourself back and worrying about something, and we'll see. So the first card out is that pesky 9 of Swords. Swords being air, communication, words, talking, text messages, phone calls, letters, emails, all of that stuff is in the communication, right? But it's also your own thoughts. And that's what this card is depicting. This woman is up. She's holding, hugging herself, her chest. She's got the swords hovering above her. These are her thoughts. Just outside the window is this wise owl, right? And then she also has some sort of spirit guide above her. But she's not tuning into any of that. She's getting lost in her own negative thoughts. So this is something that you don't want to do, right? You want to get out of any of this negative thinking. Now, we've got to get the rest of the cards to see what the full message is, but the next card is the Queen of Cups. This is a very loyal friend, could be a water sign, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. She is the top of the suit, feminine side of the suit, for her love, her emotion, her flow, her caring, kindness, nurturing. She's very loyal, as you see the 2 dogs there, and dogs are known to be loyal companions. You may have a friend that you want to call on at this time that can help you through any negative thoughts, feelings, words that you're going through. Something maybe you think, I can't do this, or it could be what you're thinking about as far as not being a failure, but not achieving something at work or in love or something like that. Then you have the Lovers. This is one of your fellow air signs. This represents Gemini. This is a card of choice. This is number 6. 6 is our harmony, right? So this woman is kind of in her dreaming mind, thinking about a relationship, possibly, and it's just like with the high priestess, when we stay in that being a dreamer state too long, we take ourselves away from the physical. It's okay to have dreams and goals and aspirations, but we also have to put in the work, right? And this card is a choice, right? This is endings, beginnings. So ending something to start something new. And you always have a choice. We have free will here, right? Your choice is, am I just going to live in a fantasy world? And I'm hearing a message about gamers. I myself am not a gamer. My husband is. And there are only a couple of games that I like, which I'll sit with him and I kind of am the navigator. Like I'll tell him, oh, look over there, there's a chest or whatever. If any of you know. I love the Assassin's Creed franchise, except Black Flag. I didn't like that one. But I like it. And we just got the newest one, Assassin's Creed Shadows. And I forgot why I was saying where I was going. Oh, because last night when I was watching it, the imagery is so beautiful. It takes place in Japan. And so I can get lost in that. And I see how sometimes people, gamers can game for 3-4 hours at a time. It's hard for me to understand with games that I've seen my husband play, like Call of Duty. Oh, God. Far Cry and all those. It's like, oh, who wants to do this for hours? But in this particular game, I'm like, wow, I could just look at the scenery, ride the horse through it for hours and be perfectly fine. So, I guess somebody out there needed that because my guides only give me things to say when someone needs to hear it. But so the Lovers, although I've never said that with that card, they were giving me the feeling of always dreaming about something but never putting anything into action, right? And that could be where this worry is. You're worried to ask that person out on a date. You're worried to start your website or your job. You're worried to apply for a job. There's something about worrying, kind of being at a standstill, like being frozen in time, sort of. And you need to make a move. And as I said, this Queen of Cups, you could take a page out of her book and ask her for help. Then you have this 10 of Wands. Tens are the completion of a cycle. Wands are action and passion, right? So he's walking across the meadow. He is almost done with this. So possibly you're worried that you can't finish or complete this, whatever this is for you. And you do get through it. You make the choice to just go on and get it done. That's kind of what I'm feeling. It's not a typical message that I have ever gotten like this with these cards, but that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling there's some sort of fear about the next step, or, it's like when I graduated college the second time, with my bachelor's degree, suddenly I was like, oh, now I have to change everything. Like I was in, student mode for a long time. And then when I graduated, it was almost like a letdown and a little bit of fear and trepidation. Like now everything's going to change. I'm moving from student, making my own schedule about studying and this and that, to, okay, finding a full-time job and moving on to that phase. So I'm getting feelings about that. Like there's something, and this is a collective reading. So take it how it resonates or leave it if it doesn't feel like it's yours. So this week coming up, it feels like there's going to be something is going to get stirred up with some sort of fear about the next step in something, but you will get it done. And then, so the next two cards that came out are the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. Oh yeah, so that makes sense why they had me tell you that thing about college. So when you complete this, then you're in your own thoughts again. So you started like that, right? With some sort of fear and anxiety. You made it through, you got done. And then here comes more doubt. That 8 of Swords, she's trapped in her own thoughts. It could be letting yourself get trapped by what someone else thinks or says to you, but Aquarians are pretty strong as far as that goes, with being able to deflect other people's opinions, typically. So this could be you. Now you can take off the blindfold, take off those, hand ties and get right out of there. The swords, you can walk right out. So I feel like there's something that you some situation that you complete, and then you're ready to move on, but then you're having doubts again. You start with doubt, you finish that, you get doubt again about the next step. And then you have the Six of Swords. This is good. This is a good card. Like, this person is going towards a better place, right? Sixes are harmony. Is this your second six? It is. The Lovers is also a six. So you have another card of harmony. Now, you cannot go to a new, brighter, lighter place and drag everything with you, right? Some of these have a lot of baggage in the boat. Some of them have the swords dragging in the water. There's all kinds of ways that they show it. In this one, it's like three swords behind her, sort of in a darker area. Because when you're trying to get something new or get to the next phase or start a new project, you simply cannot bring the old negativity and doubt with you, because it will take you way longer to get to the shore. If she threw out the old swords and old baggage, her boat would be lighter and she'd just zip right over there to the new shore, to the new horizon. Okay, so we started out with the Pride card, right? Cassiopeia. This is either you having, too much pride and boastfulness, or it's another person around you doing that. And maybe possibly that person could be the one that's keeping you up at night. If somebody is competitive and they're like, oh, I've done all of this and you've only done that, or, that type of a situation could be, right? But then you move on, you call on the help of this Queen of Cups to make the choice, to make the right choice, maybe dream it up, but then act on it. Remember how we were talking about not staying in the dreamy state too long? Act on it. Now, this could be that you have Gemini in your chart as well, in a prominent, like your sun or your moon or your rising. And if that's the case, then this card probably just means, pay attention to the reading. You could have a specific person in your life who is a Gemini. Some of this message could be about them. You'll have to decide. All right. And so then once you move on and complete the task, you once again get into fear and doubt about the next step. So for many of you Aquarians, I feel like you're kind of on this journey and you get a little bit of anticipation and anxiety that holds you back. But then you get either somebody that's like, yeah, you can do this. You can do this. So you make the choice, you get it done, you finish it. And then for the next phase or the next part of the journey or the next thing you have to do, then you start again with doubting and fearing and all of that. But you have to throw that out in order to go to the new thing, right? And the Woodland card now that you got is let go. Focus, camera. Enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly, but don't hold on too tight. Enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly, but don't hold on too tight. So letting go has to do with this card, and this one, right? You can enjoy where you are, and that also harkens back to the Pride card. Like, you want to be proud, you want to hold on a little bit, but you don't want to be boastful. So talk about your achievements, but then let it go, right? The Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords, same thing. Right? You can contemplate your situation and think about it, but then you have to let it go, right? Yeah, I like that. Enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly, but don't hold on too tight. So enjoy all of the experiences that you've had, but don't drag every single thing with you when you're trying to make something new, is what I'm hearing. Wow, Aquarius. Well, this is a little bit of a complicated reading, but I have to give you what my guides give me. So remember that you can do anything that you set your mind to, but let go of the things that you don't need anymore. Just let them go. Go on with a clean slate with something new at the front. Okay? I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope that it has helped in some way. Peace and kindness every single day. I love you all.